Who really killed the Bibas family? You've heard the headlines, you've seen the images, the red-haired children, the grieving relatives. But what if I told you that much of what we've been told about their deaths may not be true? Today I'm going to break it down clearly, factually, and without the propaganda. Israel claims that Hamas killed the Bibas family, Shiri and her two young sons, Ariel and Kfir, after taking them hostage on October 7th. They even lit up the Empire State Building in orange to mourn them. But behind this story, there's a disturbing set of facts that Israel does not want you to know. Let's talk about what really happened, or at least what the evidence suggests. First, in November 2023, Hamas publicly stated that Shiri and her children were killed in Israeli airstrikes in Gaza. They even offered to return the bodies to Israel. But shockingly, Israel refused. Why? Because keeping the public in suspense allowed them to use the family as symbol for their war efforts, claiming that Hamas was solely to blame. Second, Israel has a military policy known as the Hannibal Directive, a brutal protocol that allows Israeli forces to attack their own citizens, if taken hostage, to prevent them from being used as bargaining chips. On October 7th, Israeli forces admitted to bombing areas where hostages were held. Other Israeli hostages have since said their biggest fear was not Hamas, but being killed by Israeli airstrikes. So ask yourself, if Israel was willing to bomb other hostages, why would the Bibas family be an exception? Third, even the Bibas family doesn't believe Israel's story. They've publicly asked the Israeli government to stop lying about how Shiri and her kids were killed. No forensic evidence has ever been provided to show they were executed by Hamas. Nothing. Instead, there are reports their bodies were buried under rubble caused by Israeli airstrikes. When Hamas tried to return their bodies, they mistakenly gave Israel another body because of the destruction. Here's the painful truth. Israel has killed dozens of its own citizens in Gaza through reckless bombings. They even admitted to using airstrikes when hostages were present. But instead of acknowledging this, they used these deaths to justify more war, more destruction, and more lies. And while the world lights up buildings for the Bibas family, no one lights up buildings for the 18,000 Palestinian children killed by Israel. So who really killed them? Based on the facts, everything points to Israel being responsible for the deaths of the Bibas family, not Hamas. But admitting that would destroy Israel's propaganda. So they continue to lie at the cost of more lives. So the next time someone tells you that Israel is just defending itself, ask them, what about the Bibas family? And what about the thousands of children in Gaza who didn't even get a name in the media?